What is up, Berserker Patriot Store family? So, attached to this video, at the very end, is going to be the invoice that Charlotte County Sheriff's Department just sent me, the Freedom of Information Act, that if you go on their website and you try to request the records request, which, by the way, keep in mind, our taxes pay for the body cameras, our taxes pay for the officer's salary, our taxes pay for the download software, our taxes pay for the computer that they download the body camera to every night when they come off of service. Literally all they have to do is press a fucking button. But what they're charging you for is cutting out what they don't want the public to see they did to you. In case you don't know that, when you get records requests, they redact that shit. They cut stuff out of the video so you can't have case against them. In case you don't know that they do that. They do that. Okay, but the moral of the story is our tax dollars pay for every single thing that you have. Therefore, we've already paid for the records request. We paid for the body camera and all the technology that's used to download the body cam footage. And we paid for your salary to upload the body cam footage. Therefore, we've already paid you. Digital records cost you nothing to download to me. They literally just have to, the public records are already in the site that I'm on. All they have to do is release them. That's it. That's all you have to do. They're trying to charge me $206 for an hour-and-a-half video. What the fuck? So, an hour-and-a-half video from the Sheriff's Department is worth more than a fucking multi-million-dollar movie that was made. Think about that, okay? And I'm not getting a fucking DVD. I'm not getting anything I can keep. When you download it, it stays in the sheriff's website. You have to sign in to use your records request on the sheriff's website in Charlotte County, Florida. You have to pay an extra fee to download it to your personal computer. So, that's how it works in Charlotte County. They're refusing to give me, because they know they fucked up this time. They know this officer fucked up this time. And what they don't realize is this is the third incident I've had with the same officer for the exact same reason. The exact same knife on my side every single time. This same officer 2 years ago left the scene of a crime because he didn't like that I wouldn't disarm myself. He left the scene of a crime. I had to call a whole new officer out to take my report. But he doesn't remember that. When he said on camera that he doesn't know me, he's never interacted with me, I already knew exactly who the fuck he was. But once again, that was the first lie he said right there when he said he didn't know who I was. Because I have his card and I have the public records from when he denied me my constitutional rights last time. Denied me. And then when his sergeant came out on camera and scolded him for it, he literally said he didn't care about the Constitution. And he said it in this video too. He literally says in this video that I'm trying to get from the Sheriff's Department that the officer safety is more important than your constitutional rights. Well, then that makes you a traitor and an oath breaker. Okay? A traitor and an oath breaker to this country. And you deserve horrible things to happen to you because of that. Anyone that breaks their oath to the Constitution deserves capital punishment or banishment from our country. There should be no less standard than that. No less standard. And whoever the officers violated their constitutional rights, they should be the one that's able to carry out the punishment. Just like a pedophile should have to answer to the parent of the child they hurt. Plain and simple. The most egregious crime that can be committed in America is an oath of office broken by a tyrant. You're not law enforcement. You're not a sheriff's deputy. You're a fucking tyrant and an oath breaker. To me, that's the worst thing you could possibly be on the planet. Because people trust you to keep them safe and you hurt them. Under the color of law, you're a piece of shit. Deputy Vasquez. You're a piece of crap. You're a sorry, sorry human being. And you deserve horrible things. I'm not calling for violence on anybody, but in my opinion, you deserve horrible things in your life. Horrible things. Do you know how many people this guy has hurt in my community? Since this has happened, I've walked my community to find people. I've pulled up information and complaints forms. My God, the amount of complaints this officer has on his record are insane. For how long he's been on the force. He's only been on the force for like 3-4 years. And he's got more complaints than any of the other officers around him, and he's one of the youngest officers, and he's not being taught right. So that's why we've talked everybody into taking Sheriff William Premel's signs off of their properties. Only like 3 people in my whole town have a sign for this asshole now that been in need of BLM and glorified them as heroes. Okay, so I'm about to attach this video to the invoice that they sent me. Please make this invoice make sense to me. It's got 4 different prices and none of them add up to each other at all. It makes no sense whatsoever. But to charge me $206 for a fucking 1 body cam footage, that's insane, bro. That's fucking insane. No wonder people can't get ahead. They fucking charge you for everything with the police department. We already pay you. We already pay you. How many times can I say this in one video? Everything you have is paid for by people like me that bust our ass all day in the fucking sun while you sitting in an air-conditioned car living off of our fucking money. You sit in an air-conditioned car in Charlotte County all day living off our fucking money. These cops don't do a fucking thing to stop crime in this community. Nothing. They only arrest people when they have to make arrests so they can fucking get ahead. Or they just harass people all day long. That's what they do in Charlotte County. When I start posting these interviews I have with the citizens in this community, you're going to find out we have probably some of the most corrupt sheriffs in our entire town. And the one sheriff that was worth a fuck in our town, the one deputy that was worth a fuck in our town, I haven't seen on the road. They switched him over to the crisis unit because he's too constitutional, so they had to get him off the deputies department, in my opinion. That's why they shifted him over there. But he was good for that. And now they got some asshole that I know is a tyrant riding around with the fucking... So we can't even trust that the mental health crisis unit is going to try to help you now because they got a fucking tyrant riding around with them. You know what I mean? In case you don't know what I'm talking about, we've got 4 or 5 different stages of sheriffs in my community. They've got sheriffs that strictly deal with, mentally disabled people. That's their job, but the sheriff themselves has no training for that, so they have to have someone from Charlotte Behavioral Health Care in the car with them, but they're not really trained for that either. You know what I mean? So everyone I talk to with the crisis unit asks me, why don't you become a lawyer or why don't you run for sheriff because you would be good for this place? That's because the sheriffs go around this town slandering my name. Slandering my name. Love you guys. I'm attaching that right now.